help, I can't trade anymore, what do I do? Have you ever felt that way as a trader? Like, everything has been going smoothly for some time, or maybe you started out with beginner's luck and then you worked your way up, or maybe you started out like just so-so, and then it got to a point that you're actually getting fairly decent results, and you got to a point where you got into a rut. You came out of that rut, fell into another rut, and sometimes that could be the last rut you're stuck in until now when you're watching this video. So how do you deal with that? And how do you possibly get profitable again? Or is that even possible? Now let's talk about this rut. The rut that you really have, what if I told you that the rut that you really have is not something to do with skill or analysis or methods or whatever, but more of a rut of the mind? Okay, so if you watched my video previously about blindsided, that's one element, but I wanted to share with you, did you know there's actually a scientific study on personal behavior? I'll put the link to this video in the video description and you'll find it very interesting. So in this video, I'm not sure if you've come across it, but it's one where you are supposed to count the number of ball passes between the bunch of people. And should I spoil it for you? Well, you know what, I'll paste you the link. I'm gonna tell you about it anyway, and you just watch it, okay? And even if you don't test it on yourself, you test it on someone else, I guarantee you the result is gonna be hilarious. So in this video, what happens is that you're supposed to count the number of ball passes, right? So the point of me telling you about this video, or the point about that video, is not about your concentration skill in actually counting the number of ball passes, because it can be a little bit debatable. However, the main thing about that video was that many people who watched this video in the scientific studies, they did not realize that actually there was a person who was wearing like a gorilla costume, actually went like weaving in and out of the crowd, and at one point of time even stared at the camera and waved, but no one noticed it, or rather like 50% of the people who watched this video never noticed it. It's kind of funny because I ever saw this at one of the events that I attended before, and that was the actual results. And recently when I heard about this again, as I mentioned with you, I was reading about a lot of psychological stuff, and this came up again. So like, why does this happen? Okay, like, and if you got paid $1,000 to identify the gorilla that was walking through the crowd, when you were first only told to count the number of ball passes, the irony of the situation is that you will not even, it's not a matter of whether you want the 1,000 or not, you will not even notice it. And that is actually as big a fatality as in your trading if you were to constantly just be watching the market for one or a few kinds of movement but ignoring another possibility. So just like I said, if there was a prize to be given for identifying the gorilla that was walking in and out, okay, and that prize would give you $1,000, but this goal was not being told to you. You were only told to count the number of ball passes. It's the same thing as if, let's say, you are trading the markets, okay, and trader blindness. I give you an example. All right, there are a lot of people are thinking that okay, and this even happened to myself, happened to the people that I taught as well. Okay, I admit I'm guilty. I was once guilty of that, and from time to time I still do get guilty of this as well. But I want to tell you that this is actually normal. Okay, and but more importantly, once you're aware of it, what can you do about it? So what used to happen is that, like, I used to be a very one-trick pony kind of trader. It's like I would only be comfortable trading one particular style, and like most binary traders, like everyone starts out binary trading like reversals. A lot of people start out trading reversals using like RSI, the 80 and 20 or the 90 and the 10, or stochastics, and basically overbought, oversold, and that's all they ever do. So that's what I did. I spent a lot of time figuring out the timing, the expiry, and all kinds of stuff to do with this, and I was just stuck in that one style. And faced with a long trend, obviously, the the very easy thing to do, the very logical thing to do is to ride the trend out. But I just felt very insecure, and all I could do was like, oh shit, like here I was along with the people that I taught. We were like, when opportunity is gonna come? We've been seeing it just going up forever. We've been seeing it going down forever. Where can we start to do our style of trading? So this is one example of being stuck. And like, let's say if you're going into the market, you're looking for a few different types of setup, but not ignore but you're ignoring like something that could be taking place in the marketplace. For instance, it could be a big event, okay, that is going to give a kind of trading behavior that you almost never see, but there's a big profit potential and you're not taking advantage of it. This is trader blindness, and at the same time, this is one of the things like that gets you stuck. And another thing that happens in trading very often is that sometimes when we are when a lot of people who go from one style of trading to another style of trading, or let's say you learned somewhere before, you go to another place to learn, and then you have basically at the same time involuntarily unlearn another style of trading. Okay, so never make that mistake of unlearning another style of trading. Recognize that if your trading method is based on styles, there will always be another style of trading or method or strategy that is more relevant to the market at that time. Could be even now, okay, than another. So there could be one way of trading that is more relevant today than last week or last month. But it does not mean that the method that was relevant last month was no good. Okay? Why do a lot of trading schools online go out of business? A lot of trading schools online go out of business because the lead trader gets stuck. Okay? And to be honest, I've got stuck a couple of times through the past couple of years. I've taken sabbaticals of like 1 or 2 months, and on top of taking sabbaticals, even if I don't get stuck, I still take a break during the festive seasons because I feel that it's very important to allow myself to see new possibilities. So when the lead trader gets stuck, basically, they just kind of, like the method that they know, they've been teaching, like maybe they don't realize, okay, that, that the point of relevance, like last week, this week, well, it could just be a matter of last month and this month. It's not that you don't know how to train anymore. It's just that the method is not right now. A lot of people realize that like a lot of people used to think that okay, this training school they're losing trades, therefore they're no good. It's about how well they can find a way out of the problem, okay? And then they say that this other training school is better. Well, what they don't realize is that a lot of training schools online are actually founded by people with no actual like study and commitment to the whole process of trading and learning, what's what and what drives the market and all that. And just by luck, they found some strategy, and at the same time, they have some social influence. They get a group of people together, and then basically, here we go. We got like some kind of a group going. And then when a problem arises, they just don't know how to fix it. So I've seen this happen many times when people try to copy my strategies and teach them elsewhere in their own groups, and then after a while, they go into trouble, and then they try to message me and it's like, Julian, can I do a JV with you? I've got a bunch of traders, and maybe you could teach. I was like, well, as a matter of fact, I was fully aware that you had your own group going, and I'm sorry, the fact that you didn't tell me anything to begin with, and you didn't let me keep me in the loop. I'm not obliged to basically guide you out of the shithole that you're in right now. Okay, and what kind of I don't even get any form of recognition or benefit from it. So what's the point, right? So like, okay, let's get down to enough of the bitching. Let's get down to how we solve this. Okay, I would like you to do this simple homework of like, it's a 10 minutes a day homework, or it can be 30 minutes a day, anywhere between 10 and 30 minutes a day. Okay, if you are currently stuck, okay, the first thing is don't trade. Number two, I want you to basically just watch the markets. You may have something on a different time frame. You may have one chart going on a 1 minute, one chart on a 5 minute. Actually, that's enough. Just have a 1 minute and 5 minute open, split the screen in two, same currency pair, and just watch it. Okay, just watch it. And then along the way, add a couple of your favorite indicators and just watch it. Notice how it behaves along the indicators. Does does it bounce? Does it stay on the same side? I'm pertaining to like things like involve moving averages. So moving averages is one. Could Bollinger Bands also based on moving averages, and then you put in your favorite oscillators and see how it behaves. Okay, how does it behave when it gets to a certain overbought oversold line? Okay, does it still continue? Does it reverse? Like notice why it does around the 50s line. Does it tend to go in one way? Put different sets of oscillators along, and notice is there any kind of mismatch between the two. Would there be times that one of the oscillators is calling something and one is not? Okay, experiment with different indicators as well. So this way, what I would like you to observe is that that moving averages can be used in different ways. Oscillators can be used in different ways, and they can be combined in different ways. There are times that one is accurate, one is inaccurate, and how will you deal with that? So you can deal with it many different ways. I want you to be open to how you can deal with it. Like what would be some ideal trade expiry times? Okay, try it out. What would be, and at what times of the day, under what circumstances would one time frame be better than the other one? The reason why I asked you to do two different charts is because I want you to notice the difference between like how sometimes you can be getting a lot of trade turnover on one time frame and still get away with it, but sometimes the movement could be so thin that if you didn't have the other higher time frame to take trades off of that, you wouldn't be able to trade at all. And on that higher time frame, recognize and realize that you may not realize this before, but you actually can trade it the same way. It's just on a bigger time frame, that's all. There's nothing actually really different about it. Notice the candlesticks, long candles, short candles. Like what tends to happen after a very long candle that is like maybe 2-3 times the candles around it. Notice like if you are a reversals trader, what tends to happen after like let's say if you happen to be a reversal trader, if it's hitting the Bollinger Bands with long candles versus short candles or moderate candles, what's the difference? Okay, notice what tends to happen when the market has a doji or engulfing. Notice all these things and allow yourself to draw your own conclusions. It's very important to draw your own conclusions because that's how you can get unstuck. It's only like, let's say if you're stuck in a pit, when you start to take analysis of everything around you, you realize that all the tools, all the opportunities you have at your disposal. And if you'd like additional help on getting unstuck, and if all this I'm saying makes sense, alright, you may want to check out the Binary Lab Elite route, and that's where I help traders get unstuck. I help traders see more than one-dimensional trading. The way of trading that I believe nowadays, it used to be, yes, it used to be just like one-trick pony for me, right? But now I see how important it is to adapt, and now I am very comfortable at adapting to market conditions, and I'm still learning to adapt on a constant basis, and I do spend time doing the activity that I just shared with you as well. And the reason for that is so that I can get a few steps ahead, alright, of the people that I teach, so that I can help them get out of any possible problems that they may encounter. If this sounds like you, click over to thebinarylab.net and just click the sign up button and get in. If you're new to trading, a good place to start is the Binary Lab Basics. Just go for that first, and if you get some good results there, or you'd like to explore it further, then upgrade to speak to my Facebook page admin on upgrading to the Binary Lab Elite. That's facebook.com/the Binary Lab page. See you on the inside. Good trading.